So artisan little winery up in the Sierra Foothills. So if you look at the first slide here, here's a map of California. So most everybody knows the left side of the map, Sonoma, Napa, and Central Coast, what we all call coastal California. But if you go into the middle of the state, there's what we call that big blue area is the vast Central Valley. That's the hottest part of California, and that's where your avocados and your almonds and all your foodstuffs come from, and a lot of bulk wine in California. It's not the best place in the world to grow high-quality wine, but you get a lot of your bulk wine from that area. Makes great wine, too, but it's you're going to find the better wines in California on the edges. So if you go to the very far right, you'll see in the yellow is the Sierra Foothills. That's way up in the mountains. You really can't tell from there, but this next video or slide will kind of show you where Sierra Foothills is. If you look up in the top corner, you'll see Lake Tahoe. So we're actually only an hour and 15 minutes away from Lake Tahoe on the Nevada border, right there, way up high in elevation. So obviously we're in the mountains there. If you go about an hour and a half south of us, Yosemite National Park. So that little flat-faced rock down there is a representation of El Capitan, the really famous climbing rock there. So again, up in the mountains, really rocky, really, really high elevations. Next is kind of a cutout of the counties of the Sierra Foothills. So there's 8 counties, and really the 4 in the middle are the most important, which I'll go to the next slide where you can see that. So starting from the top, it's Yuba, Nevada, Placer, El Dorado, Amador, Calaveras, Tulum, and Mariposa. But the 4 in the middle, Placer, El Dorado, Amador, and Calaveras are the most important. It's the heart of our wine country up there. And our winery is in Amador County. And we do have vineyards all through all 4 of the counties I just mentioned there. Calaveras County, if you've ever heard of that before, it's made famous by by Mark Twain from his famous book about the jumping frog of Calaveras County. So that's Calaveras County, if you've ever heard about it in literature, but grows great wine too. This little map is the 3 sub-AVAs that are really important. So bottom is Fiddletown. That's where Bill's house is, and a lot of his properties and vineyards are. All right, above that is California Shenandoah Valley, and we legally have to say that. We have to say California Shenandoah Valley because I hear there's another Shenandoah Valley somewhere in the eastern United States, and it's really famous, and it actually predated our Shenandoah Valley, and our Shenandoah Valley was named after Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. That's where a lot of the wineries are. You can see a lot of that red are wineries right there. And then if you go north there, you see Fairplay, and that's in El Dorado County. That's a lot where your Rhone varieties come from. So a lot of your Syrah, Grenache, and Mourvedre are grown up there. Shenandoah Valley and Fiddletown also have quite a few Rhone, but a lot more Zinfandel. So the most famous Zin and oldest Zin in California actually resides in Amador. 1865 plantings there. Next little slide, there's a picture of the winery, a real quick one. Picture of our tasting room. Really small, modest little thing. Just like Bill and Jane are really small and modest. Everything they do is small and modest. Here's a picture of the vineyard of the last wine you're going to taste. So the estate bottled Zinfandel, those old rugged vines, you can see they're not trained against any wires. They're just growing like little bushes. In the background is the Sierra Nevada mountain range. It's 30 miles away. You can see it's snow-capped. That's summertime that you're looking at. So we get snow-capped mountains year-round and get that nice cool air drop down from 12,000 feet into our vineyard, which makes it possible to grow these cool climate grapes. This is a vineyard in December, but normally we get snows in November and also in October. We're one of the longest growing seasons in California. We have almost an extra month. It's common that we harvest with snow on the ground in November, like this vineyard, even though you can see there's no grapes on this, it's December. There's granite. I told you we're mostly granite volcanic. Those granite rocks. If you look at the rock on the very left side, you get that nice blue granite in there. But that's what's all over the vineyards everywhere. And there's much bigger stones than that right there. That right there is the Sauvignon Blanc vineyard that you're tasting from right now. It is very steep. As you can see, it goes down pretty quickly. That's not even the steepest part. The steepest part's behind it, up on Monarch Mine. So this is the mine it sits on top of. Next, this is the Vineyard vineyard. You can see a lot more volcanic material, so a lot more of the black kind of quartz, blue, gray kind of slate, and kind of the green schist. It's all this. So lots of volcanic material. And if you reach down in a lot of parts of the Viognier Vineyard, you're going to come back with handfuls of black quartz, volcanic glass in your hand. So it's strewn all over the soil just like this is. This is a vineyard for one of our Zinfandels. I want to show you the pines in the background. That's kind of the symbol for our label Easton, is these yellow pines. And it's because we're in the biotic transition zone where you're starting to see less tropical things. You're getting into the evergreens. So that's how high up we are in this little biotic transition zone. That transition zone is about 1,000 feet to 3,000 feet. Anything above 3,400 feet is a frost zone. You lose grapes growing up there. There's a few hobbyists up high, but that's not going to be a great place to grow after that. Another little shot of it with a sentinel oak in the middle of that vineyard. That's a Viognier vineyard. There's some Viognier grapes. That's what you're going to be having next. There's some Zinfandel grapes. There's what Zinfandel looks like on the vine. That's a Zinfandel vine. That's a 150-year-old vine. So when that was planted back in the 1860s, the ground was higher up. So just to show how tenacious these vines are, look at it. It's growing through a granite rock right through the middle of it. That's how tenacious and durable and how these vines can grow down to look for water table. They're not going to let anything get between them and nutrients and water. So growing actually through a granite rock right there. And that's a Zinfandel vine, by the way. There's Bill Easton himself working there. He does everything. He's hands-on completely. He makes all the wines, but that's him doing a little forklift work. We're an organic farm, so this is composting. We use compost from a lot of the horse and cow farms and sheep and goat herders out there. They give it to us and we were able to compost out. We're practicing organic. We're not certified, but we've always been organic. Bill's credited with bringing organic farming to the Sierra Foothills back in the 80s when nobody was really doing it. We do integrated pest management. So we build these owl boxes. So get a little family of owls in there and they'll take care of about 4 or 5 acres of our area. So we don't have to do things like spraying. They'll take care of all the varmints. So they're the night shift. And then we have red-tailed hawks during the day. They're the day shift. And then we have 2 other little varmint removers. We have our winery cat, that's Gree. She's probably the best mouser you'll ever be around. And then we have Bill's Australian Shepherd, Ginger. She takes care of quite a few. She'll bring a snake back every now and then, too. She's pretty tenacious herself. Like I told you, we're top 100 winery in the world. There's that little list. And that's our little slideshow. So we'll go into the next one. I'll let Jamie kind of introduce that one, and I'll go right into it.